Good afternoon. I'm here with Trina and Virga. She's running for Congress, 1st District, Quezon Province. Trina, what made you decide to run for public office?
Okay, just to give you a short background, my father was a public servant for 20 years of my life. So I've lived and breathed all about public service in Quezon Province, the 1st District, and eventually the whole of Quezon for 20 years of my life. So even if I didn't know it then, I think I always had it in me that one day I was going to run. And then my brother ran for Congress, and after his 9-year term, now is the perfect time for me to run and continue all the good things that he has started and that my father and my grandfather has started. So that's what made me decide.
What is your educational background?
I went to school in Parif Woodrow School for grade school and high school. And then I went to University of Asia and the Pacific for college, where I took BA in Humanities with specialization in education. And then I went to the United States and I took my master's degree in curriculum and instruction with a specialization in special education. And then so that's my educational background. And then I worked in the States for 10 years as a preschool teacher and sometime also as a public school teacher for 5th grade. And that's...
What does a congresswoman do exactly?
So a congresswoman's job is to make policies and to make laws. And after you've made the law, you gather, all the congressmen gather, or the House of Representatives gather, and they talk about which laws, because there's a lot of conflict with your laws and the other ones who represent other local districts. So you gather in a room and talk about which laws should be voted on for the country to be a better place. And so you make laws and you represent your local district.
Given that there are other candidates running for the same position, what makes you stand out from the rest?
Well, first, I think I'm lucky because I've been working closely with my brother, so I know exactly which projects need attention right now and need continuing. So that's specifically the roads that need to be continued, and the pending projects of the housing problems of the typhoon victims. So that's one thing that I feel like I have an edge because I know all those things already. And then another thing is because my background is really I'm a classroom teacher, so I feel like my whole classroom management skills will really come in handy because I see this running the district as running a community. So when I feel like it's my classroom management skills will enable me to figure out what their problems are and manage which ones need attention first and which budget needs to go where. So those I think are my what make me stand out.
What is your advocacy or platform?
Okay, so with that question, each municipality has different immediate needs. But that being said, my platform, I'll just give you a general platform. So, for example, in education, of course, I'd like to continue building more classrooms and building more schools. I'd like to continue the scholarship programs and continue and also add to the program that TESDA has made right now, that the training sites for those who cannot afford to go to college actually go to our province and train the people there. So which helped a lot in our province because there are many remote places where they won't have access to education. So that training has really been helpful. Also, legislatively, in education, I would like to examine the taxes, not that they minus from the teachers, not only from the teachers, also the non-teaching staff in the schools, because that hasn't been addressed in a long time. And also for the government to recognize the kindergarten teachers in the public schools. They only receive not kindergarten, sorry, daycare teachers in public schools. They don't get a proper salary. They're not recognized as teachers, so they just get an honorarium. So I'd like to fight for that too. Next, in agriculture, I'd like the fishermen and the rice planters and all the farmers to have a comprehensive training because of climate change. It's different now. Planting and fishing is different now, and they haven't addressed what to do now that we have climate change, and also to protect deforestation, because that has really done damage in the balance of the marine life in the islands in our district. Also to give the farmers and the planters and the fishermen a subsidy so that they could also earn from their crops and their livelihood. Next, for infrastructure, I'd like to continue building the farm-to-market roads to enable trade, and also to build and rehabilitate the multipurpose buildings where the people get together and commune and talk about how to make their barangays a better place. Not all of that has been addressed yet. And also to really focus on building and finishing the housing of the landslide victims and the typhoon victims. And also the ones who haven't been affected yet, to already move them so that they could be safe in their homes. And also to find a way to prevent these disasters. For example, for the landslides, to put like barriers so that people are safe in those areas. And what else? And also for healthcare, we have a good PhilHealth plan now, but we lack in our district healthcare centers, and I would like also to put importance in research so that we know what the sicknesses are in the barangays, and we could help the people there better and monitor their health, because sometimes when you're sick, it's not just a one-time thing. It's like, for example, a lot of people there have TB. It's a whole 6-month program. We really need to monitor and sustain that the help that we give them. So that's it.
Which problem of Quezon province do you think should be prioritized, and how will you go about solving it?
If I were to choose one problem, it would be education. There are many children there they have a lot of children. Each family there, that's the culture, I suppose. They have a lot of children, and there's not enough classrooms and school buildings to accommodate all of them. And I think it's very important that's a big problem, because a lot of them just grow up with no education at all, and so they don't get jobs in the future, and they just rely on social welfare or whatever the government could provide. So I think if we could have the children be in school, they would be more productive when they grow up.
Do you have anything to say to the people watching?
Nothing really, but thank you for interviewing me, because this is a good practice for me. So that's it.
Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck in your campaign.
Thank you.